Podketeers.
Visual here, but surprise!
Surprise!
I'm in. I got a new background.
Look at you! You moved.
Yay.
You did some remodeling.
It's virtual.
Some feng
It's a
shui.
virtual background. Yeah. I've been wanting to kind of reconfigure some stuff around here. I know I've talked to both of you about this for a long time, and I've wanted to have like a shelf where I can change things around easily and stuff. And so I started this a little bit ago, a few weeks ago now, like back in March of this year. And I finally had a little more energy, so I was able to move some stuff. I've been donating a bunch of stuff, got through a bunch of stuff away, old cables and a bunch of stuff, so I emptied out a bunch of bins. I've sold off a lot of my photography equipment that I haven't really been using in some time. And I got to spin some stuff around in here and give myself a new space. It's kind of nice because it's a refreshed space for me, to be able to work in. This isn't a very big room. The people that have been here either to record or for other stuff know that this is a very small room, so I don't have a lot of space to play with. And so the lights are kind of weird because everything's so close. Like for your background, Andrew, it looks like you have a good 4 or 5 feet behind you.
That's.
Yeah, it's at least a meter, right?
You can
No,
scroll
Mike could
back.
touch
That's all
that.
that matters.
Oh, so you're close. Okay. Well, it looks much farther away. But everything is so close here that I get glares from the lights. I get I don't know. I think it's going to take me getting used to it. Like I said, I feel like I needed this for a lot of different reasons, but it's a little bit of new, a little bit of old. I have representations of a lot of stuff on here. Some of the stuff that I already had on the shelf, a few new things that kind of I feel represent me. I got obviously my books. I got my plaque, my Steamboat Willie popcorn bucket. Yeah, I got the McBoo-Boo. I keep looking at this monitor. I'm looking on the wrong side. I got McBoo-Boo, and then today, behind me here, I printed out this really cool thing to display a lot of the Disney cards.
That's very cool.
That is.
I wanted a cool way to kind of display a bunch of the decks, so I printed this little step thingy. And so I got Wally back there. Got some of my Iron Man stuff. I made this kind of to represent how I felt the last few years.
Art.
I got my Iron Man decks, which I think I didn't have on display for a while. And then I got Hattie right here. It's actually the Pepper's Ghost effect that I had made some time ago. My Tiki Hattie. That's a little gingerbread house that we 3D printed. I thought this was a project I did with the boys. Each one of us printed a bunch of pieces, and we built these little
That's cute.
They hold candy, but it's just little gingerbread decoration house things that we made together. I got some of the Funkos in here. Got a bunch of books. I got
Square Cup.
my Norland Square Cup. So there's I don't know what part. This is probably going to be the one that rotates the most. But again, I haven't fully decided. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't frantically trying to put stuff back on the shelves and arrange some lights and try to figure out what I was going to do. Excuse me. In moving stuff around, some of my cables weren't long enough anymore, so I had to reorder cables. I had to order new surge protectors because the ones I had were also short cables, and so I had to order a couple of those. So it's been a lot of work, and I'm exhausted. I'm happy that I kind of have something that's functioning. Thankfully, this week was very slow meetings-wise at work that required me to have my camera on, so I didn't have to stress too much about it, which was great. It's going to take me some time, I think, to get used to not doing this. It's like
Turning to the side.
yeah. Because now having it here is like, oh no, that's my face. Damn. So it's a change. The fact that this blocks like a big portion of my monitor kind of is annoying.
You can move that in and out of the way if you need, or is it just going to live there forever?
No, I can move it. I 3D print it. It's on like a selfie stick pole.
Okay.
But it's a selfie stick pole that technically has a quarter thread at the bottom, so you could put it on something else.
Sure.
It's technically a selfie stick that expands that I got a long time ago with my 360 camera that allowed you to do bullet time. So it's missing the extension. It's simply the pole. And I printed out this little conical base with a hole in the middle, so it's like inside of it. And then I have the camera just like sitting on top of that. So I can take it off of the base. I can move it to the side. I can mount it over here, whatever I need to, just to get it out of the way.
Sure.
But I've considered figuring out like how to put an arm above
so you can
so I could just like move it out of the way, kind of like the microphone. So it's going to take a little bit to like, figure out how to best work in this new setup. I'm still kind of
we're not even seeing your microphone, which is crazy.
That's right.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Like it's not very far away.
No,
it's right here. But it's set up in such a way that I'm hoping I don't mic chase.
Oh, sure.
Because
then you'll lose your face.
That's the problem. Exactly. So if I start chasing it, I don't know. There's a lot of. Like my head is spinning right now with so much that's going on. Like I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little overwhelmed with like everything that's going on with the new setup, with trying to figure out where new stuff is, like trying to maneuver through this whole thing. But I'll get through it eventually.
Rock and roll.
I'm glad that I don't have to do any presentations for work right now, because had I jumped into this setup knowing that I had to like present or share my screen or something at work, I would have probably freaked out, like not knowing how to look at it. Anyway, cool. So yeah, new setup here. If you're watching the YouTube video, let me know what you think. And if you're not watching the YouTube video, you should watch the YouTube video and then let me know what you think.
There you go. Check it out.
If you can't watch the YouTube video, then just watch it later.
There you go.
Yeah.
Let's see. Speaking of checking stuff out, I want to show you a few videos because, I live on TikTok when I'm just kind of hanging out. But this one is one of the coolest billboards I have ever seen. You're familiar with the Percy Jackson franchise, right? You know that they're releasing a new movie?
No, it's a second season of the Disney Plus series.
Oh, right. So there is a creator that goes by Benchlandia over on TikTok, and they headed out to Hollywood and Vine in Hollywood because they had one of the coolest billboards I've ever seen. Let me share this. Let's get this going and let me know what you think about this. Check this out. Oh, hold on. It'd be good if I actually shared the video, huh? Oh, all right, here we go.
On a mission. I'm on a very important mission. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
Okay, so there's the billboard. Look at this. Look at this. Ready? 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 Whoosh!
Oh, that's fun.
And then schwap!
So if you've not seen this video or you're not watching, it's like a big video billboard or what's made to look like a big video billboard, and then there's like a what do we call this? A kraken.
The kraken with
arm
water coming out,
and it like
tentacle.
punches down, and then water falls from the billboard.
That is so cool.
Right?
I saw this somebody like had it from the like the side, and it's it's like a big
That's so fun.
video wall and a whole bunch of stuff. You can see the truss and everything there at the bottom.
I like
wish-
this.
I wish they had this when Pirates was around. That is so cool.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that, but you're right. If they had like a visual represent, this, if you expand this, let's say that, not that I want another Pirates movie, but maybe I do. I don't know. So let's say that they take this a step further and it's not just like the video screen, right? But now you have some kind of animatronic black pearl or something that's like moving around, and then you see stuff in the
Yeah.
background on the screen, and then it just kind of animates, or like it goes into the water like because of a big wave on the screen, and then it like pops up in the front, and then it kind of floats there, and then it like dives back down and appears on the screen. I would have thought this was something that would have been cool at Downtown Disney, just to kind of help
Like a
promote.
wet zone.
Yeah, and I guess it's a cool Hollywood thing as well. It's really close to the El Capitan. Like the El Cap
Yeah.
is like, a few buildings away from this corner. So I'm sure that they're going to be playing it there. I just thought this was.
It had a
cool
date
billboard.
on the video at the end on how long that billboard's going to be there.
Oh, I didn't see that. What did they say?
It was a text thing.
Oh,
until-
Yeah, 2 to
Until
8
December
until
10th.
December 10th.
yeah, that's cool.
So only a couple days left.
I like it. So if you're
If you're listening to
Southern
this on the
California
day of
area,
releases.
yeah, and if you feel like going on an adventure, head over to Hollywood and Vine and check out this billboard. This
That's fun.
very, very cool marketing here. Also, this not Disney related, but Disney related, but not Disney related, but Disney related.
Sure. Okay.
Ish.
Yeah.
Daft Punk. Mel, I know you saw this
Yes.
video. Do you want to set this video up before I share it?
Yeah. Well, okay, well, oh, gosh, brain fart. Sorry. So you send us this text, and it's you just see a robot, and it's a familiar one. If you're a Daft Punk fan, if you had seen the Technologic music video, you'd be like, oh, that's the robot that comes out of it. But it's just there. And so in the video, we have a gentleman who's telling us about what this robot is and a little bit more history, which is really cool because it connects a couple of horror films, like you guys would, if you're a horror film fan. Sorry. Whew.
I know. I felt the same
And
way. I thought it was
I
cool.
know. You may be interested in this connection because it's really cool. I was like, I mean, I liked it. I did not know the history behind it, and it's really, really cool.
All right. So here we go. We're going to share this. This is by the user Kiramura. I hope I said that correctly, but check this out.
The Technologic Daft Punk robot, but my dad's here to explain some things to the class.
Okay, so this is the Technologic robot that was recreated for a museum display in Paris a few years ago. It uses parts of the original robot, but the original robot is actually Chucky's underskull, Tiffany's teeth, Glenn's arms, and then Chucky's torso shell, because we had all these parts handy in a bin and kind of threw them all together to make this little robot. Originally it was going to be clothed, or it was going to have armor on it, and you wouldn't see any of this. But everybody kind of fell in love with the look of the understructure, so the exterior stuff was all pitched. We created eyeballs that have LEDs in them so that the eyes glow, so that he looked more robotic. And then the real one had cables to operate the fingers.
The more you know. It was multiple pieces. It's not just Chucky.
That
Right.
is
Yes.
so cool. So, like I said, kind of Disney related, but not, because Daft Punk connects it to Disney through Tron. But I think this should have been the villain in Tron Ares instead. I think this would have been like
cool.
Just make an army of these, and I think that would have been like the next best step.
And honestly, the video itself, it's all in red. So if you were like, remember, it's like it comes out, it's in red eyeball, like red little lasers coming out of its pupils. I think that would have been fun.
Let's see, what else did I have here? I had actually I'm gonna quickly mute this because did you see the video of the new animatronic Olaf? That they're putting in the parks. Okay, so I'm gonna quickly share this. Boop. I'm gonna mute it because I don't remember if it's got any music or anything like that. But so the Imagineering released a couple of videos. There was obviously this one where Josh D'Amaro was talking to Olaf. There was another one where they showed off Olaf in the park. This is an animatronic that they've been working on for, I think, Disneyland Paris
and Tokyo are the
Tokyo,
places
right?
that would say it's going to be.
Yeah. And it's funny that this video and the announcement of Olaf coming to the parks came this week. Because one, it's a cool animatronic.
It is.
I haven't had a chance to watch this other video yet, but a lot of you watching or listening may be familiar with Defunctland. Kevin Berger is a documentarian. He does a lot of really great videos on theme parks, theme park history, and all sorts of stuff. And he just released this week a 4-hour video about animatronics, specifically like these new projects. I haven't had a chance to watch the whole thing yet because it is a 4-hour plus video. It is. I shared it in the Discord, and I haven't had a chance to finish it. It's really good so far. So I eventually do want to talk about it. So maybe next episode or in an upcoming episode, I'll say, just to give us some time. We'll talk about it. But it's funny that he talks about animatronics like this, these projects that Imagineering puts together that we never see in the parks. And there's a lot of projects that are presented that reach like a really cool R&D point, but then we never see them again. We see them once for promotional purposes. They bring them out for like the influencer crowd or whatever the case is for an event, and then that's it. Right? So that's kind of what Kevin's video is about. I would recommend you watch it. Again, it's 4 hours. If you want to binge the whole 4 hours, more power to you to be able to do it in one sitting. I have not been able to do that. I've been watching it in chunks. But anyway, this video of Olaf released, and this is a really this, I think, is probably the best representation of how I've always thought AI would be used in theme parks or, for the general public, right? Like, we're seeing this surge of AI where people are using it to create art, to create music, to create different written things, whatever the case is. And in a lot of those cases, like we've talked about this, where there's been events that are simply banning AI art because it's basically stolen, right? It's the models are trained with existing art, existing writings, whatever the case is, but it's basically stealing what that is and then recreating it in that image. And when I first started learning about AI, I always thought about stuff like this, like the Olaf, right? Where they use it to intelligently make the animatronic interact with guests or with, you know, whatever the case is. The very first iteration I thought of how they could potentially use this is like in the Monsters Inc. attraction where Roz is talking to you at the end, because normally what they have is a cast member looking at a camera of the people that are approaching, and then they kind of say a line or two. Crush, you know, in the show with Crush is kind of similar. They have a cast member interacting with the crowd. They're just, you know, bouncing back and forth, looking at the crowd through a camera. And I figured this would kind of be the first iteration of something like that, where it would be intelligent enough to know the story of the character, the mannerisms it should have, and the types of answers it should give. And then we get this, which is just a step beyond, because now he's even walking around like he's got the waddle.
Yeah.
You know, they talked a little bit about how the Imagineers worked with the animators from Frozen to make sure that a lot of his mannerisms were as close to how they were in the film and stuff. He's got a removable nose. He can interact with people and knows who they are. This obviously is, I think, I think this is a little more advanced than the Walt animatronic. I know a lot of people are going to be angry at me saying that, because I know that the Walt animatronic is so robust in how just the face itself was structured in order to create like some of the like his gestures and stuff like that, and the sitting down mechanic and the leaning on the table. Like, I know that a lot of that took a lot of work, and I still kind of marvel at that. But yo, Olaf is walking around interacting with people.
I think this is more technically impressive. I do think that Olaf is more technically impressive. It's you know, they I think in one of these videos too, they talk about you know, it's similar to the droid, the Galaxy's Edge walking little, whatever those guys are,
little chicken
walking
robots.
Yeah.
BD-1s, yeah.
How they you know, basically use like machine learning and like to train them to figure out in a computer how to deal with environments. And this Olaf has the same kind of learning where it can walk, and like if it hits a weird ground, it can stabilize itself and which is cool.
Yeah.
With Walt, by the way, happy birthday, Walt.
Happy
Yay,
birthday.
So,
Yay.
putting it out there. I totally understand your comment, Heyzen. It's pretty much just saying like with every new animatronic, there's been like advancements in technology, and basically that's what we're seeing with Olaf, is the next wave. And I'm sure like the next character, whoever it may be, is gonna have like the next advancement, and that's pretty much it. Like with the company,
It's gonna be some avatar.
I mean,
Navi.
I wouldn't
knows?
put it past them to make me angry like that, because
Hey, that
They're
Shaman
just like,
Hassan's
you know,
animatronic's pretty dang
Andrew
cool.
just took this wheel and
it
just
actually
made a
is.
U-turn.
It actually is. I mean, I can appreciate the animatronics and everything that they did with Avatar. I'm not gonna.
Because it's huge. We don't have to litigate the Avatar thing every time.
We don't. I will admit that from like a technological standpoint and from a visual standpoint, the what is it, bioluminescent plants and stuff like that they have inside of what is the Avatar area called?
Pandora.
Pandora.
The world of Avatar.
Yeah, so like all the bioluminescent stuff, I like what they did there. It looks beautiful. Like the pictures I've seen at night are gorgeous. Even at D23, I went through the Avatar area. I was curious. Right. I walked through the exhibit and I thought it was cool, and I saw the little dinosaur puppet and everything, and I wanted to take one home, but they wouldn't let me. And I do marvel at the fact that it looks really great, right? I just don't happen to be a fan of Avatar, which is why I'm always giving it a hard time, because it's not my thing. But whatever, I know people like it. But I wouldn't put it past them, because we don't have like an opening date for that area at California Adventure.
Who knows?
Right?
2045. Who knows?
Yeah, I think you had told us at one point that like the estimated date was like 2028.
27, 28 is what that people have theorized.
Right, but knowing how projects don't happen sometimes, 2045 is more like it. I think you're
at least by 2045
it'll be there.
We should have at least some construction started.
Yeah, but it does seem like something they would want to show off. It like that type of character, I think, is humanoid enough that they can get away with a lot of stuff where it wouldn't look weird if they had like a weird stance or like weird gestures, right? Because it fits the cartoonish nature of,
but they're so big, so you can fit more stuff in them.
Exactly. Like you can put a lot more mechanics in there to really like I could just see the Na'vi towering over everybody walking around like that new Avatar area, telling stories or story time with the Na'vi or whatever.
That would be crazy if the next thing was like a 10-foot tall animatronic that walked around. That would be ridiculous. I don't think that's on the docket, but that would be crazy.
But I wouldn't put it past them.
I bet it would have to have like a walking stick. I bet you it's like a 3-legged, if that's a thing. Somebody's working on it, I bet you.
Yeah.
Going through the monitor, you see the top of their head.
They're like looking at the window, like, "Hey, what's going on up there?"
Just like smacking its head on the monorail. Yeah, it's all these projects that they keep showing off. I've always wondered, and again, maybe this is something that Kevin answers like in the video that I haven't like seen yet, but I always wonder with all these projects, like you see them once or twice in the parks, and then you see the advancements at D23 and in the presentations or in these videos that Imagineering puts out and stuff. And then you always wonder, like, where are they going to use that? Like, when am I going to get to see that in the parks? And most of that technology, you kind of don't, right? And when I first saw this video specifically of Olaf, I just wondered, you know, the video... The parks across the globe seem to always get these really cool attractions and these really cool things coming to the parks, and we don't get these items. Like, when are we gonna see this? And
well, once we get our world of Frozen, I guess we'll get an Olaf.
We might at that point. Yeah, it'll make sense. But I did kind of feel bummed out that this was going to be something that we weren't going to get a chance to see here. And as soon as we get it, of course, Disney World's going to get it because, you know, they take all.
No, they'll get it before us, I'm sure.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't know. Take our stuff. Somebody else already has it. We'd be taking their stuff.
How dare you, sir? I know, but, you know.
But I want it.
But I want it. Exactly. So, yeah. So this Olaf animatronic, if you haven't had a chance to see the videos, they're on the Imagineering YouTube channel. And then, of course, there was the other one where he's just, like, walking around.
He's like,
he's like, is that Josh I hear or something like that? And he like walks away. I forgot, but I thought he was talking about Josh Gad. He may have been talking about Josh Tomorrow. Super cool video though. I want one of these Olafs. I'm not gonna lie, kind of want one.
let's call up Imagineering and be like, hey, can you make a third, fourth one?
I'm just gonna 3D print one.
There you go.
I'm just gonna 3D print one and
Easy
then try
peasy.
to figure it out. And yeah, exactly. We'll
Raspberry
figure
Pi,
it
there you
out.
go.
Right? Just get it to function in the background. There's a lot of like kits that you can buy to do stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like not necessarily to make like an Olaf or an animatronic, but there are kits you can buy to learn to program using an Arduino and stuff.
Well, Garner Holt sells that bird.
I
right?
was just about to bring
Okay.
that up, so I'm glad you brought it up. Garner Holt has like a project kit where you can build an animatronic bird, and I don't know if it's still available. I think they were out for a little while, but it was part of a student program or something like that.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Let me see if you could
It was a
still
Kickstarter thing.
It was this was earlier in the year. It was like part of like a STEM thing that they were doing.
Yeah.
Nice.
Education through imagination. And this one, I think this was the Kickstarter for it.
Yeah, it was a Kickstarter. I'm wondering if that, like, the people got their Kickstarter and then they haven't, like, released the second, like, an actual...
Yeah. But this was, here, actually I'll share this page.
You can
so
go
we
to
kinda see the
Songbird
video. Camp.
It happened this year for a cost of $1,895. Whoosh!
Woof. Okay, so this was the kit that you could get on Kickstarter. They were looking to raise 100,000. They got 125. I don't remember. All right, so this is, kind of what you could build.
Ooh,
It had
that's
this
cool.
very tiki room, right?
Yeah.
But it had all the parts, all the feathers, everything. Like it had some speakers and
So you
everything,
get, like,
so you could,
a plain bird, and then you can dress it up and paint it and build it yourself.
you create your own, you create your own little animatronic, and I just thought
Right.
that was pretty cool because, again, there's a lot of these kits that you can buy, that are STEM related that allow you to build stuff, but a lot of the kits that are out, are kind of like cars, vehicles, little rovers and stuff like that, and usually there's like a camera that you can attach to it. This one was unique because it's not a little car, it's an animatronic bird, and if you're a Disney fan, it's very tiki room inspired, right? So I think it's a really cool project. Not even if you're not a kid, even if you're just kind of interested in this is the type of project like I would buy this, right? But I've seen a lot of people 3D print a lot of these parts, and then they just kind of workshop. The ones that are really good at modeling in CAD will essentially model out all of the pieces. As a matter of fact, we talked about some creators that did this. Remember what are they called? It's not, maybe it is Wicked Makers, but they made the Bill Cipher.
Oh, right.
Remember when we talked about it?
Yeah.
They printed out the eyeballs, they 3D printed them, and then they like programmed
Yeah.
them to like look around and stuff like that. It's kind of the same concept, right? You just learn to program or code an Arduino, and you learn a few commands, and then it like moves the pieces around. So
this other one I've just remembered that I've been getting like pushed ads for. I sent it in the thing. That it's like a pirate skull like animatronic kit you can buy. They have that and a bird. It's like plastic or wood or something, but it's pretty stinking cool.
Oh,
if you scroll down, there's like
cool.
there's like a video of it going as well.
See, that is awesome. That is so cool.
And so this is from Bot Tango.
Wow.
And they have
I
a
like
bird
this.
as well. And these, I mean, for what it looks like, it's on sale right now for $424, which I think is, a pretty good price. That's the standard.
Yeah.
There's a Pro edition that's $50 more. I don't know what comes in the standard versus the Pro. But it says easy to animate. I don't know. It looks
How
pretty stinking cool.
fun.
Oh, it's got software and stuff that you can animate. Yeah, this is actually kind of cool because this is very similar to how Imagineering does the animation for some of their animatronics, right? It's software based as well. It's not always fully coded. They use, like, this software essentially uses a lot of keyframing similar to how standard animation is done, you know, and it makes it easy to move the characters, or easier rather to move the characters. But this is cool. I've considered getting a couple of these for. Oh, there's the bird.
They also have on their thing coming soon, Louie, a theme park caliber animatronic you can build, coming soon. It's like a full-bodied bear.
Where's that?
It's if you go to the kits and parts and then scroll all the way to the bottom, it's like a concept thing right now. There you go. That's Louie.
Oh, how cute. It looks like Humphrey the Bear.
I was gonna say, I was like, I feel like he needs to sing "Put It in the Bag." Bump bump.
Yeah.
Take your bag, put it in your bag, bump, bump. Then you grab your sack, put it in the sack, bump, bump.
If you scroll down, it has shows the parts. And that it would come with, in theory. Like this company seems like they're doing some cool stuff.
That is really cool.
So Bot Tango, if you guys hear this and you want to send us over some demo units,
yeah,
if you need some
for you,
if you need some beta testers on Louie, let us know, because we'll let you know. Because this looks friggin' sweet.
It does. Sweet. Yeah, this
friggin' sweet.
I've considered making something like this. I did want to make a Bill Cipher at some point. I think that's been kind of top of mind for me as I've dabbled more into designing my own 3D prints and stuff. And then my kids like building stuff as well, and my youngest is a really huge fan of Mark Rober, and so we watch a lot of his videos, and he's been wanting to do the Crunch Labs thing for a while, but the Crunch Labs is kind of expensive. You get a little bit of a price break if you pay for the whole year up front, but they're like $50 a box, so they're kind of expensive. And I started thinking about what comes in the box, and in general, a lot of what you get are standard ideas and techniques, right? You could obviously, you're building a project, you're building a little disc launcher and a lot of different things, but what you're really learning are the concepts and the ideas of how to implement that into other projects that you build. So I've considered either getting at least one or two of them, maybe as a birthday gift or Christmas gift, or getting one of the Arduino kits where you kind of learn how to just make a little rover or a little card or something like that you can control as kind of a starting point, and then using that as the building blocks to build the Bill Cipher or our own little animatronic. That's kind of where when we first got the 3D printer, that was always kind of what I envisioned, that they would use it to as a stepping stone to kind of learn stuff. And then I remember going to D23 and talking to Lanny about it, and he said, yeah, we use 3D printing for a lot of stuff at Imagineering. Daniel Joseph mentioned that they use the 3D printing for a lot of their mock-ups and stuff like that, and I thought that's what I'll have my kids do. And then they started printing a whole bunch of stuff, just fun stuff for them. I started printing a bunch of fun stuff, learning how to use it and stuff, and I feel confident enough in what I've learned over the last year. Can you believe it's been a year since I started doing that? I feel confident enough in I don't consider myself a pro at all, but I feel like I've learned enough that I would feel comfortable taking that next step in potentially building maybe some eyeballs that move around, right, as a first step, and kind of going from there. So I don't know, stay tuned. Maybe that'll be one of the next projects, and then we'll eventually build a whole bear. Unless Botango says, hey, build our bear, and they send us a free bear, to build. Or a bird, or a pirate. We'll settle for anything, Botango. Just send us whatever you want.
Yeah, Bot Tango.
Bot Tango, sorry.
There's two T's in there.
Bot Tango. Tango.
There you go.
Tango. All right. Before we move on, I just realized how long we've been recording, so I want to take a brief intermission here and thank a very special group of listeners and viewers known as the FGP Squad, our podcast Fairy Godparents, because it's their support via Patreon that help make these episodes of Podketeers possible. For more information on how you can become part of the FGP Squad family, we invite you to go to podketeers.com/FGP. There you will find some information about what the FGP Squad is all about. You'll find some information about some of our top contributors, a link, of course, to our Patreon. But in short, being a part of the FGP Squad family gets you some additional perks, like a special section of our Discord, additional content that we've uploaded to Patreon, discount codes whenever we release new Podketeers gear, random giveaways, and more. So if you're interested, head on over to podketeers.com/FGP. And of course, to all of the members of the FGP Squad, we just want to send a huge thank you for your continued support. Since we're talking about links, now's a great time to remind you that podketeers.com/links is where you will find some of our most commonly asked for links, including our latest episode, a link to the Disneyland playlist, any fundraisers that we're running with our official charity team, Teamboat Willie. You'll find a link, of course, to the FGP Squad on there, a link to our Discord community. You'll find information about our YouTube channel and our pal Larry's YouTube channel, Goofy Guys Adventures. You'll also find a link to our Armchair Imagineering playlist on the links page. So, set a bookmark, set a little shortcut, a little icon on your phone, drag a shortcut to your desktop if you're on a desktop, and just go there every so often. We don't update it all that much. It updates at least once a week, because we got a new episode and then we got Disneyland episodes that go up there. But hey, if we ever have something to promote, you'll have easy access. And that is worth its weight in animatronic gold. Right?
Right.
And then we can get back to the podcast. Animatronic gold.
Is that like dairy gold?
No, that I think would upset people's tummies.
Oh, okay.
So maybe not that one in particular. Let's see. What else do I have? I have a few more videos. I want to talk about your recent trip to the parks, Andrew.
Oh, okay.
But I got a couple more videos I can show you. Oh, did we talk? I don't even remember if we talked about this on the podcast. Remember we talked about the Muppet variant covers, the Marvel stuff? Mm-hmm. Update, did you ever get all your variant covers? Yeah.
I got I'm missing, I think, one that I have to, or it's the Rolf as Venom, but I bought this one I had to buy this one on eBay because everybody is sold out of it. The Miss Piggy as Thanos cover.
Okay.
But I think I got every other one.
Nice. Well, I know that you are not as big a fan of this character, but in one of the Disneyland questions, he was an answer as one of the most popular characters in the park. I am talking about Stitch. Stitch is getting his own variant covers for the holidays. He'll be appearing. Boom! Here we go. We'll get the origin of Stitch as the Silver Surfer in this Avengers cover. He'll be in an episode of She-Hulk, I guess, as like kind of Wolverine with claws made of candy canes. He'll be in the Thor comic, just whapping a tree all over the place here. He'll be in the Amazing Spider-Man as Stitch Venom. But it's funny because he's not like fully Venom. It's just like a Venom holiday sweater. And then in the Fantastic Four comic as well. So Stitch will be making some appearances on some Marvel variant covers. I thought that was kind of cool. So any Stitch fans out there, this is your moment.
There you go.
Go out, get your Stitch covers. Boom.
Not me.
Stitch it up. Stitch it up.
Just stitch it up.
This is not. I guess it kind of is Disney related because the creator that I'm gonna show you, they go by Tetra Dart on TikTok, and the project that he's working on is he's drawing Stitch as different characters, right? So this one caught my attention obviously because I'm a huge fan of The Fiend. The WWE, it was Bray Wyatt's character, but this is what he does. He essentially has all these characters that he makes as Stitch, and he's got this like rolling board of all these characters that he does, but usually he's playing like a song related to the character in the background, and you're just seeing him sketch out Stitch with either the clothing, the poses, all sorts of stuff depending on what character he's drawing. In this case, he's drawing again Stitch as the Fiend. So this was obviously one of the videos that I liked.
That is so cool. I love when people could just draw like this. Like that is, I love it.
I know. I love stuff like this. So creative.
Yeah.
They're so talented, man. Look at that.
Sweet.
It's so good.
And I don't even like wrestling.
So here's the group that I was telling you about. I'll just bring it up. Boop. I'm gonna show it again. There it is. So he just adds the character to the running.
Stitch. Let's see. We got Deadpool, Jack Skellington. I'm trying to see anything that Lilo. Stitch as Lilo.
So we got in this top. We'll go top row, right? Like so. There's like Kane and the Undertaker.
Yeah.
And then I don't know who this shark.
Some red guy.
Yeah, some red shark. The Fiend. I
Cruella
think this is
DeVille.
Cruella. And then Peacemaker.
An eagle.
An eagle. I don't know what this is.
Did you see the new Superman?
Oh,
no.
That's Nathan Fillion's character from the Superman,
funny.
the Green Lantern guy.
Got it.
Yeah.
So we got Lilo. I don't know who this green guy is.
Some yellow. That's
Tell.
Pikachu. I don't
No,
know.
there's another one of
No,
those
it's
somewhere
not.
down there. And then there's Jack Skellington. There's so many in here. I don't want to
Superman, Mr. Incredible.
Yeah.
Let's see.
There's Baymax down here.
Baymax,
One of the first
Agent
ones I had
P.
seen was Agent P. That was I think the first one that I had seen, and I just started kind of following him after that. But there's like a Digimon in here. There's
a lot of these. A lot of these are definitely not a thing that I know of. It looks like a lot of like anime or other comic things or something.
I also think this is one of the older videos because in the newer ones, the group seems so much bigger. Mm-hmm. And there's some in the group that aren't represented here. Like there was like either a Grogu or a Yoda Stitch at one point. So it's missing from this one. So I think this is much older as far as the group or like where he was in the drawing process. But yeah,
a lot of like Superman. This guy down here at the bottom center's the Superman guy. I forget his name too. I saw that Superman movie.
I'll go with Zod.
No, it's
not
the
Zod,
that's not Zod. It's the Mr. Terrific.
Okay, I haven't seen the new one, so I can't say with any certainty what it is. Let's see. The last video I want to show you before we move on is I'm almost positive that this is going to get some kind of hand slap from YouTube, but this is too good not to share.
All right.
Who sent this? The Grinch video. Was it you, Andrew, or
was it
you,
me?
Mel? Mel, you sent the Grinch video?
No.
That was a you video. Was that a you video?
Was that me?
Been a you video.
I don't even remember, but we had.
Oh, Patrick. Oh, that was me. I sent that. I thought we were talking about the Grinch twerking or whatever.
Oh no,
from the inflatable Grinch.
That was me. The inflatable Grinch twerking was me.
No, this Patrick Warburton singing was me.
All right, so I'm pretty sure this might get some kind of strike, but I'm going to play some of it anyway. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'm not going to talk over this because that way we won't get muted if I have to cut this audio out, but here we go.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. You really are a heel. You're as cuddly as a cactus. You're as charming as an eel, Mr. Grinch. You're a bad banana with a greasy black peel.
All right, I'm going to stop it right there because I'm pretty sure that that's about where YouTube's going to be like, hey, we told you not to play that. This is awesome. I didn't even know that he had recorded this. He posted this on his official account. So do you know if this is going to get released? Like as an actual...
I don't know. If you look at the recordings, it says recorded at Hollywood December 2023.
Oh, this is old.
But I just don't know if he just never decided to release it and just decided to now. Or what. Yeah, I don't know. He just posted to his social media. He has a band.
Patrick
Warburton. Yeah.
What is his band?
It's called Patty
and the Warbucks?
Let me look it up because I don't want to misspeak.
That's his Instagram name, by the way, Patty Warbucks.
Just to see him live, I mean, you could say anything, but I'm going to close my eyes and I just hear Kronk belting it out. That's all I see and hear in my head.
Yes, the Bearded Pearl Clams. It's
that is awesome.
It's a Pearl Jam cover band.
Interesting.
Ooh.
Patrick Warburton on vocals.
I can imagine Patrick Warburton trying to sing like Eddie Vedder. Or now, all I'm going to hear is Kronk trying to sing. I'm going to close my eyes, and I'm just going to hear alone, listless, breakfast table, and an otherwise empty room. That's all I'm going to hear now.
There you go.
Right. Thank you for that.
For reals.
This is so good. So, Patrick Warburton, Patty Warbucks, Patty and the Warbucks. That's his new band name. That's what I'm going to call it. You're welcome, Patrick. Come on the podcast. Let's talk.
Yeah.
We'll chat. Talk about your band.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
All
right. Hey, Huy Quan was in the parks.
Right?
Was he there when you were there?
No.
No?
I don't. At least not that I'm aware of.
So there was this video that Mel sent to us where Huy Quan was in front of the Jungle Cruise, and I think it was like a cast member asks him, he's like, hey, do you want to make a video? And he's like, sure, I want to make a video. And like, you just have to ride a ride with us, right? And he's like, oh, what ride am I going to ride? And then they like point to Indiana Jones. Mm-hmm. So he turns around and he puts his hat on, and what does he say?
Hold on to your potatoes.
Hold on to your potatoes. So I have to ask. I'm not as big an Indiana Jones fan, obviously, as both of you are, but I have to ask. I've seen him appear in a lot more of these videos, either for the parks or for whatever the case is, and I see him portraying his character a lot in these. Do you I feel like part of me knows the answer to this, but do you think that he genuinely enjoys when they ask him to make those videos and like re-portray that character? Or do you think it's kind of just like, all right, well, he's under contract, all right, I'll do it because I'm under contract sort of situation?
No, I think he genuinely loves doing what he does, because in the video, I swear, like, he's 50 years old, but he is adorable. He just becomes that short, round character, and he's like, he enjoys it. Like, you could tell when someone enjoys it when they embody that spirit, and it's not like forced. Like, I don't think I've ever felt like I have to, like, I'm here, I have to do this. Like, he doesn't have that. So
Yeah.
I like to believe that.
Yeah, he I'm pretty sure he's talked about just like how like surprised he was like after like returning to acting, and like how receptive everybody was to him. And he just like the gratitude he has for like people accepting him, you know, back into their lives, even though he'd been gone for so long. So I do agree with Melissa. I think he just generally is happy to be a part of things. He also just seems like a very happy person in general. Especially, you know, some of those videos, he kind of feels like based on the videos I've seen, I have no actual reference for this, but it seems like he feels like he's also just like a fan of people. And so like when he went to like go over to like Harrison Ford that one time at D23, and he's like,
Yes.
oh no, and like acting more like a fan than like a coworker that he's worked with and all this stuff.
Yeah.
He really does seem to enjoy the whole thing, and I think that's a lot because like he's had such a great like reception from people returning to acting.
All right. Well,
By
I
the
guess.
way, I was gonna say, if you saw this in person, I envy you, because I think I would have just been deceased. Because that's a moment.
It is a moment.
Yep.
Yeah, that kind of aligns with how I was thinking about it, because I feel like there's a lot of actors that have you said it best, Mel. Like you could tell when they're not into it, right? Like they do it because they're under contract and because they just have to record this video because they're promoting this, they're promoting that. But there isn't like really any Indiana Jones things to promote right now, right? And every time that I've seen him, like I saw him like at D23 and stuff, and like every video, or not at D23, when he was accepting his award, that when he won his award for the first time, like he just genuinely feels like he really appreciates the moment and what he has, and you know how people view him as an actor and how they appreciate what he's done. I don't know, there's a humility to the way that he does it that at first I just wondered like is he just that good of an actor? But like the more that I see his videos, I'm glad that it wasn't something I was just like, I feel like I was just falling for, like, you know, I got tricked into thinking in that, but he just seems like such a genuinely good dude, like all around, you know, so
Really humble.
But you're right, there's some that I watch those videos and you can kind of tell, because there's certain people that they take out a lot for the videos, but I'll give you an example. Like Josh Gad gets pulled out for videos left, front, and center all the time. But I feel like Josh Gad is also one of those people that actually likes doing it.
Yeah.
Like I've never seen a video where he kind of feels like he's phoning it in. Like he takes it and he runs with the character. Like he gets into the moment. And those are the ones that I enjoy the most, like whenever they put these videos out. But there are others that you could tell they just, you know, they did it because they had to be there and because they had some contractual obligation, and maybe it was better if they didn't release that video.
Jared Leto. What?
Who's that? What?
Somebody throwing stuff.
What?
Squirrel.
Squirrel. All right. I was gonna say something else about wrestling because I was gonna say Timothy Chalamet is gonna be on a podcast with Cody Rhodes, and that reminded me that Roman Reigns and CM Punk are in Zootopia, and it's like they're in Zootopia too. They're like buddy cops and stuff. It's kind of funny. Zootopia.
Fruitopia.
So in the video, it's really cool because it's like a front view of them going on the ride, and it's like you can't react, and that's where I was like, okay, he's a geek just like us. He is.
Do you think you could ever actually get on that attraction and not react? Like, you know everything that's happening, right? But do you think you could do it?
I
think
could
so?
do it. I think I could do it.
All right.
Really?
Next time you go,
I think so. Just record myself going.
Just record yourself and don't react at all. I feel like there's moments where it would break you either because of the jerking of the vehicle or because there's just like, you know what I mean?
Especially in the last row. Yes.
Oh, that last row. That's something special. So, all right, Andrew. So, just record a video of yourself next time.
Okay, I'll have my wife just sit there recording me going like.
Yeah, I want to see Andrew just grumpy.
I think I could do it.
All right, I'll take you up on that. All right. Well, since we're talking about the parks and we're talking about you in the parks, let's talk a little bit about your recent trip.
Sure.
One, I want to start by saying it was so good to see both of you.
Yeah.
You know,
Dropped
I'm
off
glad.
some goodies. We hang out for a little bit. It's always a good time.
Yeah, I'm glad I had an opportunity to go down, and I was feeling well enough to make the drive down there. But yeah, it was good seeing all three of you. So your trip. I wanted to hear a little bit more specifically because you told us that you did one of the tours, right?
Right. Yeah. So we came down. We were there the Friday after Thanksgiving, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and busy. It was busy. Friday was a madhouse, but manageable. Saturday we were in DCA, and that was just lunacy. I don't know what the heck was going on. Disneyland was fine, normal, and DCA was crazy. Sunday we were back in Disneyland, and it was a little bit better. We didn't do a ton of stuff, but we did take a tour on Sunday. Let's see, any other notable things before the tour? Yeah, it's a Disneyland trip. I bought a shirt. Okay, talk about my shirt now. I bought this new shirt at Disneyland. It's a Christmas one. I try and get my Christmas ones up. So it's got Disneyland letters, the word Disneyland, but it's Christmas symbols, candy canes, and gingerbread and what have you.
I like it.
I also
makes me want some gingerbread. Bad.
I bought this little cozy cone.
Oh, that's cool.
And it lights up, and it does a little. Yeah,
Up until you turned it on to light it up, I was gonna say I know somebody that could 3D print one of those for you.
Yeah, I was like, I like the little grass. It has a little AstroTurf grass. I thought that was fun, so I bought that. I didn't end up with buying too much stuff. But yeah, so we decided to do one of the guided tours, the 2-hour tour. The one we did was Disneyland 70, A Story of Celebration, the 70th anniversary guided tour. And it was, we just did it kind of last minute. Like, we went into the park, and I had looked it up the night before to see, and they said there was stuff available, but the website was being weird. So I just went up to the tour desk and was like, "Hey, you got any space?" And they're like, "Yep." And so I paid for it. It's $120 a person for the 2-hour tour. There was 5 of us in the whole tour group, so it was pretty one-on-one. I think their tour groups can be anywhere up to 15 in a tour. Hey. So there was somebody in the morning that was the only person in the tour group at 9 in the morning. So they just got a personal tour with this tour guide of the thing. But it was a for Andrew himself, it was not a learning tour because it was everything that you probably already know about Disneyland. So a person like us wouldn't necessarily learn something, but it was still like I really enjoyed the tour in general. And I do think that like somebody that is not researched Disneyland to death would get a lot of information out of it. That was one of the ladies in the tour with us. She said she took it. That was her first time at Disneyland during Christmas time, and she had heard about the tour and never took one. And she really likes Disney history, so she took it. So yeah, you start at Tour Gardens, and then you go to the town square, and you're like, oh, this is where Walt stood, where they gave the opening day speech, and then you go over to we went over to the cinema, talk about that, walked through to where did we go next?
We went Carnation Cafe.
No, we went to Main Street. Oh, that's right. We bounced around. We went to just kind of like in front of Jolly Holiday, kind of looked at the castle, talked about some stuff over there, went over kind of to where the churro stand is by the castle and talked about like the Main Street vehicles and stuff like that.
Churros.
We
Did you get a churro and Coke?
No, I did not at that point. No. I'm trying to remember. We wound our way through. Oh, okay, yeah. We then ended up going into. How did we? I'm trying to remember. We went up through Tomorrowland. We went towards the Matterhorn, then into Tomorrowland, and then got on the Disneyland Railroad there. And then went through Primeval Whirl and got off at New Orleans Square.
Oh, nice.
And then we were there and we went through to Frontierland. And then at Frontierland, we had a break, bathroom break, whatever. Then boarded the Mark Twain. While we were waiting for the Mark Twain, Tiana just comes on by and starts talking to us. So we take some pictures because she's going to board the Mark Twain as well. I guess she just kind of rides the Mark Twain at some point. I don't know. Took some pictures. We rode the Mark Twain. She's talking about, the history of, it's all kind of just general history of like why this was built and why Walt, wanted to do this and that and the other thing and how it came to be. We got to talk to the engineer of the Mark Twain, who's actually on the bottom floor, doing the gas, basically. Nice. the throttle.
Did you sign
that was
the
fun?
Book?
Huh?
Did you sign
no, because that's all the way up at the top.
They should let you sign the book.
Yeah. From there we went through to Fantasyland, and then ended at the Fantasyland Theater. Which was a nice little tour. It was just under 2 hours. I just kind of gave the glimpse of like the stops we did, but there's stopping and talking and explaining. You also get an earpiece, and so the tour guide had a microphone, but also she had like I don't know, a little iPod or something that was plugged in, so when she wasn't talking, she'd switch it and it was playing music and different things that were themed. It wasn't just like random like Spotify playlist. There's at one point where it was playing some stuff I hadn't heard, which was Disneyland radio commercials. Like when it it was just like different people like, come on down to the Disneyland for this thing and that thing, from like the 50s through the 70s sort of thing.
Like Quizneyland commercials?
Yeah, but just for Disneyland itself. Yeah. But that was cool. I actually turned the volume up to listen to those. And then they, play like opening day speech, and they played like different segments of stuff. It wasn't just music. Played the monorail song at one point.
That would have been funny if she slipped up and all of a sudden you were listening to like Sabrina Carpenter and she was playing Juno or something.
Yeah, and so early on in the tour, we were stopped at the cinema, and she goes, "So does anybody know like what was Mickey's first appearance?" And then she goes, "Anyone?" I'm like, "I'm not gonna answer because I know the answer." And nobody does anything, and then she like looks at me, and I go, "Well, his first animated or first release?" And she goes, "Ah." And then she goes, "So what was the first animated?" And Playing Crazy, and it says Playing Crazy, and then the Galloping Gaucho or whatever was the second one, and then Steamboat Willie was the release first, and blah 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 blah. And so we go through, and then on the break, I went to go get my wife a pickle, and I come back, and so the tour guide, her name was Diana. She was great, by the way. If you get Diana, you're in for a real treat. She goes, "Well, I hear you have a podcast." And I go, I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Oh, that's great." And so I told everybody in the tour group about the podcast and stuff. And so if anybody remembered to listen and you're listening to this episode, hello, everybody from the tour group.
And shout out to Diana.
And Diana, she's great.
That's awesome.
The other stuff that came with the I should have grabbed the one thing from the kitchen. Oh well. That came with the tour was you got your lanyard, of course, that had this thing. You get the button, and they've got your name on the button. That's just like a label maker tape or whatever. You get a pin, which is kind of a neat little pin.
Oh, that's
on
nice.
The pin, it says Disneyland: A Story of Celebration, the 70th Anniversary Guided Tour. And then there's a little Peter Pan ship, a little Mark Twain, and a little Autopia car on the pin. So that's kind of nice. You also got a lightning lane for Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. And then the big perk that the reason we did the tour was you got a viewing spot for the fireworks.
Absolutely.
And so the spot we got, if you go on my Instagram, you can see one of the pictures I took from there. But it is the section of the hub that is like you're looking at the partners statue, so that quarter of the entrances to the hub, because left and right are walkways, and then the one in front of that between the partner statue and the castle is like where they put all the benches, and that's like the VIP tours. But where we were, looking at the partner statue, it was a great view. There was like maybe 25 of us in there, so there's like there's enough room you could spread out, walk around, and all this stuff. Because my wife uses a wheelchair when we're at Disneyland, and so watching the fireworks is always a challenge because there's not any like assigned like wheelchair accessible viewing. Yeah. Where it's like, hey, there's not going to be a bunch of butts standing in front of you. You have to like really grab and like find there's like, besides sitting dead center in the middle, like and waiting there for 3 hours, there's like one or two spots that you can like kind of get that work okay. And so this actually worked out very nicely, and might do it again if it's included. This tour was, they had switched out. It originally, when it first started, the 70th tour, it was Paint the Night is what you got a section of viewing for. But Paint the Night's not going on because of Christmas, and they have a Christmas tour as well. And the Christmas tour gets the Christmas Fantasy Parade viewing section. And so we got the fireworks, which was what we were looking for, and it was great. And you got to stand there, and you could stand there and wait as long as you wanted, and after the stuff had concluded, and you didn't have to like get just like thrown into the big crowd. Just like awesome. Stand there. It was
that's nice.
They also had stopped walking through the hub completely, and so I was just snapping pictures with nobody in the in front of the partner statue, and you got all the lights still going from the snow is falling. And what else came with that was you got a box of popcorn. The old school popcorn. Yeah, so you got the popcorn with the at the fireworks viewing, and it was a specially formulated popcorn just for that specific tour. And it's like a white chocolate. It's pretty good. White chocolate and something, but it's like pink and blue, or magenta and blue, kind of like the colors of the 70th logo. And it's pretty tasty. I still have some in the. When I got it home, I put it in a Ziploc bag to keep it a little fresher, so I can eat it, munch on it throughout the thing. But it's pretty good. A little salty, a little sweet.
Wait, did you have this popcorn already when I saw you?
No, because we hadn't. Wait. No, we had to get back because we had the fireworks viewing later that night.
Got it. Okay.
So we hadn't had that yet.
I was gonna say, if you had that and you didn't tell me, I was gonna be hurt.
No, they didn't.
You didn't have it. Okay.
I didn't have it until the evening. Yeah, they gave it to us at the fireworks viewing.
Gotcha.
But all around, like, I really do recommend these tours. Like, especially if you're looking for like a view of the fireworks, look into a tour that includes that, because some of them include different things. Like some of them might include Phantasmic, some of them might include other things. Because it says, like, on the description, it says one of our nighttime spectaculars is how it's listed. And so I asked.
It's not like they have that many, so
yeah, but
you're gonna get one.
You're gonna get one of them, but I don't care about the parade at this point, because I had already seen the parade, and it's easier to get a seat because you just sit along the street. So yeah, but the $120 with all that stuff that it came with, and the premium viewing, like I would have paid like $50 a person just for the viewing, at least. And so plus the pin and the popcorn and all that stuff, it seemed like a very good deal, and I don't regret doing it whatsoever. I recommend anybody doing it. I'll probably try and do another one of these tours, again, especially if a new fireworks show or something comes. The other tours that they had listed on here are Happiest Haunts, which was the Halloween tour that wasn't going on anymore, and Holiday Time at the Disneyland Resort were the ones that were running when we were going. But it was a lot of fun, and highly recommend Diana. She was great, and I recommend the tours. It was a good time.
That's cool. Yeah, the tours have always been one of those bucket list items for me.
Mm-hmm.
I always wanted to select one that I would enjoy, because I feel like I would run into the same thing that you ran into, right? Where a lot of the things that they were telling you about are
Mm-hmm.
things we've already learned, either through a book that we read or through some presentation or something like that. But then I started wondering, like, why don't they offer like Imagineer tours or something like that,
right?
Where it's kind of like a level 2 or a level 3 sort of situation, where maybe you pay a little bit more, but instead of like the history of the park, they're like, this was built on this, and it was designed by this person, and these were the iterations and the ideas and the concepts came from this, right? So it's kind of an extension into Imagineering, and you get just a little bit more, a peek behind the curtain sort of situation. And there's always, I feel like there's always going to be, especially for like people that love Disney history and really just kind of seek that content, there's always going to be something that you kind of already knew. I don't think there's ever going to be a tour that you're going to take where like you go through the whole thing, you're like, everything here was new. Because at some point you heard it at a D23, or you heard it in a YouTube video or whatever.
Right, especially if you're lunatics like us. Like
exactly.
It's
exactly.
We're always looking and reading. Or
you got a bunch of Dave Smith books over on your shelf, and you're reading through all that stuff. Right.
But she was explaining a little bit on like the tour guides. Like they have a team of them that actually like write the tours and come up with the concepts for the tours and everything. And she was saying they're reworking the Walk and Walt's Footsteps tour right now, because that's not available right now. And
where the animatronic gets AI and he walks you around the park like Olaf.
There you go. And the other one that they said is coming back, that's scheduled to come back after the holiday times, is the railroad tour, which sounded interesting. I think that one includes like Lily Bell, like ride and stuff like that. Cool. So, but yeah, I do agree that it would be interesting. Now, like, taking the tour, I kind of see, like, operationally, like, how some of it would work. And, you know, how she was explaining some of the stuff about the time limits, and, you know, especially with, like, a bigger group of, like, 15 people or whatever, it'd be a little harder to, like, go and, like, do, like, a backstage thing or, like, a behind-the-scenes thing, which is, like, what I'm craving to do, right? But, I think, you know, even just like extra information, like you're saying, Imagineer, maybe they should work with Imagineer and be like, hey, give us a bunch of information, like dry, boring information that a bunch of weird nerds are going to want. Yeah. And then it'll be like, hey, weird nerds, come take this tour, and we will.
And it could just be, it could be simple stuff too. Like, for instance, when you stopped in New Orleans Square, did they tell you anything about the train station? Because I know you mentioned the Mark Twain, but they didn't mention the train station, right?
No, they talked about, you know, she gave us some tidbits about like train stuff while we were on the train, but other than that, no, we kind of headed for, it was more focused on New Orleans Square as the first expansion of Disneyland, and you know what it was based on, and the inspiration for it and all that stuff.
Gotcha. So see, that's what I'm talking about, where if maybe the way that they like integrate stuff like this is maybe they don't have like a full like level 2 or level 3 tour, but they kind of take note of everybody that's on the tour, and they ask a little bit like, well, how much history do you guys know? Like, do you know basic Disney history? Like, raise your hand if you know this, and this, right? And it's not necessarily what's part of the tour, but it hints at what's in the tour.
Sure.
So that they kind of gauge, like, well, how basic do I want to make this, or how much more can I add? So, like, if you get to New Orleans Square and they start asking, like, well, how many of you know that, you know, the telegraph is saying Walt's speech in the background, right? Or, you know, like most people, I think, know that tidbit. But then if everybody knows that tidbit, they'll say something like, okay, well, you know, New Orleans Square was the first expansion. Did you know that the train station was actually in Frontierland? And a piece of the building where the train station was is this building you see back here as part of the New Orleans Square Depot, right? So I think if you start adding those like levels and those additional elements, more people on the tour would be like, oh, this was like so worth $120, right? Like, not that it's not, especially if you're looking for like a fireworks spot, or like for the purpose that you said for this one. I think those little added elements and pieces would just kind of plus up the tour so much more for people. And you know, maybe you learn a little bit something new every time that you take it. Maybe it's small, but not only do you get a really good fireworks spot, but you also learn that cool little tidbit you can share.
Right. And I think, you know, a lot, like, she was sharing information that I think is not necessarily the most plain and dry cookie cutter information. I just happen to already know it. Like, you know, there's a lot of Bob Gurr talk about, you know, Bob Gurr designing, you know, the Main Street vehicles, and then like talking about, oh, Bob Gurr was like babysitting, was it Frank Sinatra's kids or whatever, and took them on the Autopia, and then they were like goading him to like go fast and like take it off the rails and whatever, and then ended up like rear-ending Sammy Davis Jr. on the Autopia. So like there's like some stories that she was telling that are not generally like told in a lot of the media. You know, Bob
That's
Gurr
good.
like doing some stuff. There was stuff. It was just stuff I personally already knew, but that doesn't mean that 99% of the other people that are going to take it didn't know, knew it already. So there was a lot of good information, and I do think that Diana was after our break, and like she found out that I'm Mr. Nerdman, like was trying to like, you know, give a little bit more. Like she would say like, this is not part of the tour, but da 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 da. I was like, and then I go, oh yeah, this thing with da 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 da, and then she go, oh yeah, like
That's cool. See, that I can appreciate, because that's exactly what I was talking about, where they kind of get to a point where they kind of gauge where they think you're going to enjoy the experience a little bit more, and they keep it the way that it has to be for the majority of the people, but then they have this like additional element that's like, okay, well, we know you kind of know this, so here's a little extra for you, sort of thing, right? So that's cool. I'm glad that she did that. I'm glad that you enjoyed it, and still a bucket list item for me. I've always wanted to take one of those tours, not necessarily for the fireworks, but just for the free pin. Right. I know they're so exclusive to the tours.
I think when we're back going and we all go back, we'll go do a walk in Walt's footsteps, and we'll go in the apartment.
I would love to do that.
I gotta do that.
Would love that. And then hopefully by then the Walt animatronic will be walking
will be
around
the one
like
walking
Olaf
us around
style, and he'll be walking us around.
What would that sound like, Heyzen?
Like Obama. Like, to all who come to this happy place, waffles.
Waffles.
All right, I think that's gonna wrap it up for this week. So any closing words?
No, I talked about my shirt already. My aunt made me this hat. I don't know, I could tell you that my aunt crocheted me this big long Santa hat. It's huge. It fits over my headphones and everything.
Now, would you want a huge hat or a tiny hat for you?
No, me or Melissa?
No, for everybody.
For you.
Oh. For me, I want a big old hat. I mean,
The bigger the better.
If this was like another 4 feet long, that would be great. It's just like make it a scarf, and
I just want a little tiny.
I just want the longest Santa hat possible.
I just want a little tiny hat.
Oh, what was the thing I saw that had a Santa hat on that I was going to tell you guys about? Something
or something.
It was like a thing. I was at Disneyland, and something had a Santa hat on it, and I was like, "Oh, Santa!"
Cars characters.
Well, no, I saw those. They had those. I saw them in Cars Land, but something else had. Did I take a picture of it? Hold on, I'm gonna check real quick. I don't think. No, my phone is being stupid. Well, because it says, "Oh, you should update your phone," because it doesn't do that enough already. But there was something. Nope. What? Okay. Whatever. This is not worth it. My phone's being weird. So, if I discover whatever this Santa hat thing was,
we'll talk about it next week.
Right.
Well, so everybody else can hear it, because I'm sure you text it to us anyway.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
My phone is being weird. I think it. Yep. Something's going on. So we'll deal with that later.
Right on. All right. That's it. That's going to wrap it up for this week. So until next time, keep dreaming, keep moving forward, and always remember to pass on the magic. Have a fantastic week, everyone.
Bye.
See ya.